then how did we arrive at that final outcome? How did we arrive at our dream? We asked ourselves a question like, what would it be like? Could I be healthy? Could I be wealthy? Could I be abundant? Could I be in shape? Could I have a healthy relationship? We asked ourselves a frontal lobe question. Now, the frontal lobe is the creative center of the brain. And when we ask that frontal lobe question, because it has connections to all other parts of the brain, the frontal lobe begins to access the neurological networks in the brain that are associated with that question based on the things we've learned, the knowledge we've learned intellectually, and the experiences that we've had in our life. And as we call up these different associated neurological networks, the brain begins to fire in tandem. And once those networks synchronize and fire in tandem, we get a picture in our mind, and that's called intention. We are selecting a new possibility. For the passionate person who sees that vision becomes the experience in their mind, and they begin to feel the emotion of that future before it happens. And we could say that they're giving their body a taste of the future emotionally before it actually happens. And when that occurs, then the stronger the emotion we feel, the more we remember that vision, and we begin to remember our future. We've all done that. And then we did something really important. We kept that vision alive in our mind. We wrote down the choices we were going to make, the to-dos, the lists that we had to create to get our behaviors to match our intentions. We wrote down our goals, those experiences that would keep us headed towards that vision. And we had to be inspired. We had to be elevated. We had to feel motivated. We had to be excited. That was the energy that we created to keep that vision alive. And I think we did something really great as well. We wrote down the choices we had to stop making. We started to examine the beliefs and the thoughts that would stand in the way of that vision. We stopped doing certain things. We wrote down the things we had to stop doing and the habits we had to break, the experiences that we wanted to stay away from, and the feelings that would keep us thinking and behaving as if we were in our past. And that is the process of change. We kept reminding ourselves of who we no longer wanted to be, and we kept reminding ourselves of who we wanted to become. And finally, then, to be able to change means then to be greater than your environment. What do I mean by that? To think, act, and feel differently in the same circumstances in your life. In other words, independent of the people or conditions in your life, you're changing your personality and being greater than your environment. To be greater than the habits that the body has been programmed into doing over and over again, and the emotional conditioning and addictions that keep us in the past, and to be able to sustain that for an extended period of time. Keep thinking differently, keep acting differently, keep feeling differently, change your personality. It begins to change your personal reality. There is a reality that already exists for you, where you are an abundant person. You just have to become it. Now, given everything you've learned in the introduction, here's your first assignment. I want you to think of a time in your life where you set your mind on something and accomplished it, whether it was a vision, a dream, or a goal. What did you think and believe? What did you do? And what emotion or feeling did you live with to accomplish that vision or dream or goal? By the same means, I want you to think of a time in your life where you set your mind on something and you didn't accomplish it. It's important for us to realize, what did you think or not think? What did you do or not do? Or what emotion or feeling did you live with on a regular basis? It's so important to understand the contrast between the two. In this situation where you didn't accomplish something, there's usually three things that stand in the way between us and arriving at our vision. Our environment, the conditions and circumstances in our outer world, our body, its habits, its emotions, and its drives, and the concept of never having enough time. So then your homework is to create a contrast between when you accomplished something, when you set your mind on it, how you thought, act, and felt, and when you didn't accomplish something, how you thought, how you acted, and how you felt.